Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin, and joining us for an interview is Drew Vernon, Marketing Director at Tonies, Tonies. Thanks for joining us, Drew.
It's great to be here. Thanks, Fred.
Tonies is a pretty interesting company, I think. So give us a bit of background and some overview.
Sure thing. Tonies is a great little company. It's about 5 years old, started in Germany by a couple of dads who were on the board of a preschool together. And they noticed that their children were going to class and their teachers were using CD players. And, it's kind of clunky. CDs have been around forever. And they thought, the teachers are fiddling around with them and the kids can't operate them on their own. So they wanted to give an update to that, to have a screen-free device that kids could use to play songs and stories. And so they came up with the Toniebox, which is our flagship product, which does that. It uses a combination of a smart speaker that is screen-free, and it's actually really squeezable, which is kind of fun for the kids. It's got a layer of foam on the inside, so the kids aren't going to break it or hurt it. And it's paired with these characters called Tonies. So we have, some of our own characters. This is a puppy. We've got some licensed characters from Disney, and each one of these is programmed to play, songs or stories. And it's got a magnet in the bottom. You put it on the box, and if I squeeze the ear, then it's going to come to life, and it's going to play what it's programmed to play.
Really interesting. So it's using what, RFID kind of technology?
Exactly. So the first time you put a particular Tonie on the box, it's going to download the content from the cloud onto the box itself. Once it's downloaded onto the box, you can then take it into the car. You can take it to a friend's house. It's completely disconnected, and you can use it wherever you like.
Well, describe for us what the setup is like on this. And we'll get into more of the versatility because it can do a whole lot more.
The setup in terms of how you get it going?
If a parent gets this for a child, or a grandparent gets it for a child, step us through what they need to do.
Yeah, sure. So there's a one-time setup. It'll walk you through it with the setup guide. You'll create an ID and a My Tonies account. And once you've done that, then you really just put the Tonies on the box. I can show it. I'm going to wake it up by squeezing the ear. The ear is going to also serve as the volume control. So the big ear is volume up and the little ear is volume down. And you can also chapter select by whacking the box on the sides. The kids like to do that too. If you want to, this is Old MacDonald. So you can chapter select like that. That's really the functionality, but the intent is that this becomes a library. So, Germany launched about 4 or 5 years ago. They have over 300 Tonies. We've just launched in the US last September with about 20 Tonies, but we're going to continue releasing new Tonies, all of the time. So, if you want to increase your collection, then you can have that.
Really interesting. So the content is actually stored in the box, right? And the figurine is just telling it what to play?
Yeah, so the storage, I don't know the exact number, but the storage can hold, 200 or 300 Tonies, and the algorithm is such that, if you put that, 301st Tonie on, it's just going to delete the oldest one, and it's going to be a seamless experience, and it's just going to keep the most recent ones in the box.
And of course, the partnership with Disney gives you some terrific licensed content that kids are going to be familiar with right out of the box. And there are also books, right?
Yeah, so we have, our own tales. If I don't have them here with me, they're probably on my back wall here, like Pinocchio, The Wizard of Oz, Treasure Island, things like that. But as I mentioned, this is a continual process. So we're actually in the process of partnering with all sorts of content publishers, both fiction and nonfiction, and we'll be bringing the biggest licenses to market in the coming months.
What I really find interesting is the ability to make your own, so to speak. So tell me about that.
Yeah, that's right. So I might have to grab one of these guys. This is creative Tonies. So in contrast to the content Tonies, which come pre-programmed, these come empty and they're programmable with up to 90 minutes of custom content. So this is great for for the kids. You can create your own songs, your own stories, your own poems, but it's also great for parents and grandparents because they can read a favorite bedtime story from across the country. They can upload it on their smart device, and within a matter of seconds, they can put it onto the Tony, and the child can listen to grandma or grandpa whenever they want.
What would they simply do? Record like an MP3 file and send it to the parent?
It's all part of the My Tonies app. So really it's just a record button. So you tap record, you can give a personalized message, you can read your favorite bedtime story, you save it, and everything goes onto the Tony so that the next time it's placed on the box, it will play back that message.
So the grandparent would also have the app, or would they be just sending an audio file to the parent?
So the grandparents would have the app. So let's say mom or dad buys a Tony box. They set it up with their My Tonies account. They'll just add grandma or grandpa as a member of the household, which is just sending them an email saying, we'd like you to be a part of our My Tonies account. And once they accept that invitation, then they have the record feature, which they can just tap and send.
And so then the parent saves whatever files they want, particular stories or songs that a grandparent might sing or read, or another relative or friend, and
Yeah,
send that along,
precisely.
and that gets saved to the little figurine or,
Yeah, and
or
it really
associated
becomes,
with it.
yeah, it becomes kind of like a treat because, you know, you never know when grandma or grandpa is going to have a new message for you. So if you get in the practice of putting it on your box every day or every week, you might have something new from a loved one.
And once you've recorded and associated a file with the figurine, can you add more content to that figurine?
You can, yeah, it's totally customizable. You can put them on, take them off, up to 90 minutes per Creative Tony, up to, I think it will take 99 or 100 tracks with a total duration of 90 minutes.
Terrific. So tell us about pricing and how this works.
Yeah, the retail suggested retail price on the Tony box is $99. That comes with one Creative Tony. And then the Creative Tonys can be purchased separately. Suggested retail price on this is $11.99. And for the Content Tonys, the suggested price on these are $14.99. So that's going to be at the discretion of the retailer, but that's the typical price.
Very interesting. So what can we look forward to? You're talking about really an expansion of content.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned we're working with different license partners. There's a lot to look forward to in 2021. I think that really I view this, and to give a little bit of my background. So I've been in the toy business for 3 or 4 years. I managed preschool, a business for Lego. And so I came at this thinking that this was just a toy. But the deeper I get into Tony's, the more I'm seeing this as a system and as a medium for delivering audio. So it doesn't have to be songs or stories. It could be games, it could be activities. You know, over the break, I did a treasure hunt for my kids where every clue led to the next Creative Tony. And so it's very interactive. So my intent and my hope is to build a community around Tony's and to give some suggestions to families to say how you might use it, but then to ask people to find their own creative uses. You know, you could do a pen pal program with school kids from, you know, a different city or a different country. You could do all sorts of different applications with the delivery of audio. We've gotten into about 15 museums. They're starting to put these in exhibits. So, you know, you can take a Tony box around with you and you can put a different Creative Tony on for each station to deliver, you know, the information for that exhibit. So the possibilities are really endless. And we're just starting to scratch the surface on what can be done with the Tony box.
Very interesting. So you're also looking at different accessories to go with this?
Yes. So in Germany, they have released some already. That we have a carrier that will carry, you know, the Tonys. We have headphones coming. And so we are looking at a whole product map, you know, 3-5 years out that is going to help kind of make this a more robust and comprehensive experience for families.
You talked about how sturdy it is. What about the battery life? Is this a rechargeable box?
It is, yeah. So the charging station, if you look at the bottom of the Tony box, it has a charging receptor and a little, I don't know if this is called a pod, but you plug it in and a full charge is going to last for 7 hours, which is really, you know, enough for the whole day. So again, if you want to take it in the car, like I've been giving a Tony box to my 4-year-old daughter on the way to preschool, and it works like magic because, she can interchange the Tonys. There's no, are we there yet? Are we almost there? It's just pure magic like the entire time, which as a parent, like I just absolutely love.
Absolutely. So for more information, where's the best place for people to go?
I would say Tonies.com. That's kind of our direct to consumer channel. So you'll see the best experience at Tonies.com. We also have some great retail partners. So we're at Target.com, Amazon, FAO Schwartz, and we're also in about several hundred independent toy retailers across the country. So if you're interested in seeing one in person, then you can reach out to us at hello@Tonys.com, and we can point you to a store that has one.
And finally, we've touched upon it, but the importance of this in the midst of this pandemic for a remote connection between relatives, friends, and children.
Yeah, 2020 was a crazy year for all of us, and I think we're all feeling a little bit isolated. We don't have as direct contact with our loved ones, particularly those who are more at risk for contracting coronavirus. And so this is a great way to do that. So I talked a little bit about grandparents sending messages to grandkids, but we're actually finding out that, sometimes grandparents want a Tony box because they want to be hearing from their grandkids. So it works both ways. And it goes back to the concept of using this however you see fit and however it benefits you and your family.
Terrific. Again, it's Tonies.com, Tonies.com. Drew Vernon, thank you for taking the time with us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much, Fred.